Oi, oi, and we are on. It is semen retention, brutal honesty. Here we go. The truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, where I speak from the heart and I tell you about my journey. If you've been watching the last few days, I've been video vlogging, I've been keeping a diary, a video diary, checking in, a few minutes every day. And I hit every day except for yesterday. Yesterday was a tough day. So here's the brutal honesty. I also, along with these video diaries, today is day 14, so we're going to do day 13, 14 together. I also, with these video diaries, I have been keeping a actual diary. So every day I write. You see there, day 1. And every day, I've never missed a day. Day 3's there, whatever. All the days. And yesterday, I wrote day 13. I wrote it. And it was a tough day. I didn't want to make a video. I didn't want to write. It was one of those days. Just so you know, by the way, still fully loaded. Still haven't, how would you say in a nice professional way, I haven't dispersed, I haven't released. That's the technical term, right? I have not released. It's day 14, haven't released. Flying high with that. Getting up, getting things done, working hard, reading, learning, doing new skills like jiu-jitsu, reading books, and learning my Portuguese, etc., making money, all these things, putting energy into good things. But I want to be honest. I want to be brutally honest. Yesterday was a tough day. There's going to be tough days. I'm going to hopefully do this for 100 days, retain again for 100 days like I've done before. But there's going to be days where it's tough. I'm also sober. I've been sober before. I've had years under my belt before. During COVID, I relapsed during a divorce and a separation from my daughter and being in different countries. So, I tell people, even though I have had years under my belt and I've done the work before and I've worked the steps before, it's like if you get an injury, if you injure your knee, even though you know the prognosis, even though you know what's going on, you have to rehabilitate it. You have to do certain exercises. It's still going to hurt. You're not going to be able to do sprints straight away. And that's what happens when you abuse your brain, when you've been doing alcohol, when you've been doing drugs, when you've been doing other things, perhaps other antics. On a neuroscience level, neurons that fire together, wire together. There's been a lot of bad habits learned. There's been a lot of bad solutions. There's been a lot of bad coping mechanisms. Now there's better ones. But, that monkey mind, it fights. It doesn't want to do the hard stuff. It wants something for nothing. So, and also I'm dealing with life, right? And that's one of the things, dealing with life on life's terms. And yesterday, I was struggling. And let me just read you what I wrote. I'm not going to do this. I don't think this is going to be a habit where I read what I wrote, but I'll read you day 13, like where my head was at. Let me just read you what I wrote. I write a page a day on this journey just to see where I'm at. I let the pen flow, the power of the pen. This is where I was at. Day 13. Fear is a motherfucker. So is regret. Regret is crippling. Regret is like 5 cramps at once in your stomach that you can't stretch out. You have to sit in it. You have to get used to it. And you do. You learn to live with it. That one same feeling that used to make you want to scream so loud only dogs could hear you, it now becomes a shrug or an eye twitch. We humans are resilient creatures. I miss my daughter. I'm gutted that I don't get to see her grow up. I've missed years of her childhood. I can never get that back. How do I forgive myself? I've been told I need to have a good cry. I'm scared to do that. I'm scared of feeling that pain again. Life can be brutal. Is that the lesson? If there is a God, Does he want us to know all our feelings and emotions fully on this journey of life? That would make sense, I guess. The ride of your life, no stone left unturned. We call it brutal beauty. Roll up, roll up. I have to be positive. The cup has to be half full, otherwise I will drown. I'm sorry, God, if I've fallen short. Help me. One day I will die, that is for sure. But I don't know if I have lived. Keep watching. The ride's not over. And, you know, I wrote that last night, and then I was going to do the video, and I got thinking about my daughter, and I did have that good cry. And I cried. My eyeballs hurt. My eyeballs hurt. I cried that hard, you know, because there is regret when any addicts know, when you come out of that behavior, when you come out of that drug use, when you come out of that alcoholism, you see clearly, but you see the wreckage of the past. And I have to be an emotional alchemist. I have to turn that around. I have to use it, turn the dark into light. Help others, like I've said. I want to help others. Learn from my mistakes. That's what I will tell my children, if I have any more. Learn from my mistakes. You don't have to make your own. If you do, you do. I will love you regardless. I am being taught unconditional love. I am being taught if one strikes the cheek, turn the other cheek. These are things that I'm learning. These are things that I'm being told. I'm being vulnerable enough to speak on this. This is what happens when you stop feeding addiction. One of the biggest addictions, it tells us in the big book that we had, it tells us in the big book of AA, the 12-step Bible, that a lack of power was our issue. Page 45, second paragraph. A lack of power was our issue. I mean, come on. When we think about orgasms and sex and that dynamic, that's where it's at, baby. I don't know about you, but when I was trying to get laid as a little kid, when I was trying to, have those shenanigans with the girls behind the bike sheds or, up in the fields in England, we were trying to buy alcohol. We were trying to buy booze to lower our inhibitions, to get that Dutch courage or whatever, When you're wanting to be a big shot, you're trying to gamble, you're trying to get that money, you're trying to be something bigger and better than, especially if you're like me and you come from a coal mining area, an industrial area. You look at the movies, you look at, people who have those, big houses on the movies or those things, and you're like, wow, I want to get that, but I don't know how. Maybe I'll win the lottery. And then it begins, all those things, I didn't want to do the video after. I didn't want to feel that vulnerable to put something on yesterday. But I do want to be vulnerable enough to talk about it and say, I did the writing. I didn't do the video. I'm owning it. I'm here the next day. I've had a great day today. I got up, I got at 'em. I smashed in a workout. I went to work, did an 8-hour shift. I came back, power napped, another cold shower, went to jiu-jitsu, coming back here now. I'm getting ready. The good news is I'm getting ready. This coming Monday, I travel to Brazil. I will see my daughter for the first time in nearly 7 months since I last saw her. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. I get to right the wrongs. I get to be in the present, sober, just like I made my daughter. I get to show her the example of earning your treats, that there is no such thing as something for nothing. And I get to show that by my example. I get to show that with my energy, and I get to show unconditional love. I get to show this child and me. I get to show me, because when I'm abusing myself, when I'm doing all those antics, I'm not showing myself love. And when you can't show yourself love, how can you show anybody else love? Wow, what a message right there. So I'm happy I got to share that. I do these videos and I think to myself, at times, like, it's a good thing, because, you know, at least if anything ever does, God forbid, happen to me, my child will be able to see, and I've said it before, she'll be able to see these videos. She'll say, my dad was a little bit out there. He's a little bit crazy. He's definitely unique, but he was a good man, and he wasn't perfect, but he wanted to be better, and he was striving for goodness, and he was trying to do, he was trying to help others with nothing in it for himself other than, hey, I want to help somebody. I think it's altruism with nothing in it for me other than, of course, the good feelings you get from helping others. You get good feelings from that. Why not feel good about that? Why not do something today? Why don't I offer that? Why can't that be my offering for anybody that watches this? You know, wow, I sometimes get 100 views on these videos, 200 views. Can you imagine if everybody who watched this video went and did something kind and helpful for somebody after this and said to them, all I want is for you to do something kind and helpful, and the ripple effect of that? Wow, we can change the world with our example, with how we are. I'm learning from other people's examples. I'm one of those people. I'm a visual learner. So if you're in my life, I appreciate you. Thank you for the accountability. If you're checking in on here and you're doing the comments, I appreciate you. Thank you for the accountability. Let's keep at this thing. Let's keep bringing the brutal honesty, the brutal truth. Let's keep talking from the heart. Let's keep moving from the heart. Love thy neighbor as thyself. If you're watching this, I love you. Va con Deus.